G'day viewers, it's Michael here again and welcome back to SingleRacer. Now in my last Assetto Corsa video, I featured the car that you see here, the RSS Hyperion 2020 by Racing Studio. But when I clicked on the actual car itself to find out some more details, I noticed that they included an update to the RSS GT pack as well, and the details are further down the page here. Basically updating it from version 5 to version 6. Now the main reason seems to be to incorporate updates to the custom shaders patch and probably indirectly Soul version 2 as well. But each car has its own fixes, but they're essentially mirrored with maybe one or two changes for each individual car, but essentially they are the same fixes for all the cars. Probably to bring the car pack up to version 6 as a group for custom shaders patch. So as you see here, we've got custom shaders patch car headlights fixed, just to make them more impressive and, you know, flashier with the exhaust flames and the car headlights incorporated into the newly updated custom shaders patch. So I thought I would test the car pack out as a whole. Now I've downloaded the version 6 and just see what they're like, but with an extra twist, which is why I called the video Channel of the Month. But just before we move on to the Channel of the Month, I want to give a huge thank you and shout out to Racing Studio. Now if you're a beginner and you've just bought a Assetto Corsa and you've never bought a Racing Studio car, I had a situation where, although I owned the cars, I had never actually bought the cars, in the sense that I won them in a tournament held by Sim Racing 604. And what happened was, in the update from version 5 to version 6, for some reason my link didn't work and I couldn't download them. I contacted Racing Studio and but I still had, of course, my ID number and the purchase number, and they got back to me in less than 12 hours, so not even one day. And it was only 12 hours because I was actually asleep, being an Australian to their time in the US, and so it would have probably been a lot earlier. But they sent me the link to the cars. Absolutely fantastic company. So if you've never bought anything from them before, I can highly recommend them, and guarantee that you'll be in the right hands when it comes to Racing Studio. Probably one of the best companies producing paid mods for Assetto Corsa. And so now I'd like to feature a brand new and up and coming Channel of the Month. Now, his name is a bit of a mouthful and I've got to stop and think about it, but I would pronounce it Atrupelador. I hope I have that right. And there is a very specific reason that I want to promote this channel. And that's because the reason that I got the version 6 GT pack from Racing Studio was the update to the custom shaders patch. But if we put custom shaders patch, Soul and Content Manager aside for 1 second, given how fantastic they've been for Assetto Corsa, my next favourite thing has been these incredible CAMTOOL2 presets, because to use CamTool2 by yourself is very, very, very complicated. So to have people that are doing these presets where you can just load them and they become a new, essentially external camera replay for anyone that uses that type of thing, has been absolutely brilliant in my eyes. And so the Atrupelador channel mainly features these presets that he does that are absolutely incredible, and his downloads are on Race Department. And what I recommend is, if you want to get a sense of the flavour of his channel, because he does some fantastic driving, drifting, power sliding and just general race videos, to feature his presets. But I'll recommend this one here, and I'll have a link to this video in my description. So if you want to get a sense of the flavour of his channel as a whole, I recommend this video, and I'll have a link to it in the description. And so just before we go racing with the GT pack, here's an example of one of his race department downloads here, but I asked him a couple of questions because on race department he's known as Hoff, or maybe Health. The German pronunciation might be Health. And I asked him why that's different to his YouTube name, and he simply said that it was simply a case of the fact that that was his old nickname, and he as a result is in the process of changing his name to his YouTube name, as you can see here. But I also asked him that I noticed a lot of his mod track presets basically a beta 0.9, and he said that it's essentially finished. It's a proper functioning version, but in some cases he might be unhappy with, say, just one camera angle or just something he wants to improve, and then he's in his mind, when it's ready, it'll become a version 1, which he has a few of as well. But don't be worried if you see a version 0.9, it is truly fully functional still, but maybe he just wants to improve it slightly. And the good thing, the thing I really like about his channel is he does have some major track presets, but he also features a lot of tracks that I'd actually never heard of. So if you want a lot of mod tracks for Assetto Corsa, he's also a great channel just to keep in touch with new mod tracks as they come out, and he does these CamTool presets for them. So a great channel if you like to get new tracks, or you want to see new tracks in action for Assetto Corsa. And so now, speaking of those major track CamTool2 presets, let me show you an example of his work by featuring the RSS GT pack updated to version 6 on one of my favourite tracks, Vallelunga, showing off one of his CamTool2 presets. So this is Michael signing out for SingleRacer. I'll catch you next time. See you later, and let's go GT racing. Okay folks, so as we get ready on the start finish line, let's turn on the lights to try and intimidate the opposition, and we're off. Oh, and massive wheel spin on the start, so let me do an early change. I've got to try and make up as many places as I can because I've had a few practice runs and the AI is set to their maximum 100 in Assetto Corsa, and the bunch in front really pull away. Oh, as the Ferrari goes into the dirt there. So can I make up a spot? Yes, hold it Mick. Hold the spot. Oh, and the car in front nearly goes off. I had to ease off. Oh, and I've got a whack from behind because I had to ease off. And now he's got the cheek to pass me on the outside. Oh man, this is incredible. Now, can I do the same? No, I think I've overdone it. Well, hang on to it, Mick, hang on to it. Oh, and now the Vortex Viper comes on the inside of me. Okay, well, two can play that game, so let's dive on the inside here. Can I hold it now? I've got to ease off the throttle, but can I get a good exit? Yes, I think I've clearly passed him, so now it's a matter of sticking with this group in front. Unfortunately, I wanted to set it to 100 to get a real kind of sense of how fast they are, but I have noticed that the front group tend to pull away. It's just a matter of sticking with them now. I absolutely love this track. I race it online quite a bit in Assetto Corsa. It's an interesting track in that you spend as much time easing off the throttle as you do powering on. So ease off here to get the turn in, and now try and get a good exit onto the straight here. So now let's try and keep up with these cars in front. I doubt very much that I can catch them now, but let's try to power through this. You really got to trust the downforce going through that corner. I absolutely love that corner. Now try down to second to get through here clean. I often overrun this corner here, but they're not pulling away from me, but I just don't think I can catch them. So it's a great lesson for those of you that are learning online racing, that if you find yourself in this position, which I do often, where as I nearly muck up that corner again too, but where the aliens pull away from you, but you're kind of stuck in no man's land because the cars behind aren't really passing you either. You've got to try and then sort of focus more on a hot lap situation, rather than focus on them and race where you overdrive and make too many mistakes, as I nearly go a bit too deep here. Again, the same thing here. So as we come up to the end of this second lap, let me try and show you what I mean by just almost putting the cars in front out of your mind, because once you try and chase them, that's when you overdrive. So now what we'll do is we'll ease off, we'll try and get a clean line, and now just focus on a really clean lap here. I still think I've done an excellent time. Yes, that's a good time. So now let's try and fly through this section. Let's hold it. Oh man, you really got to trust that downforce, because you swear you're going to fly off the track here. Now down a bit earlier, down to second to get the power on early. Now power out of the corner, that's beautiful. Nice exit out of that corner. They're pulling away from me a little bit, but gee, I'm still enjoying this. Absolutely fantastic, this group of RSS GT PACK cars. They've done a fantastic job, and this update is no exception here, as I do a bit of a solo lap now, but it's just a matter of not throwing it away on these final few corners. Let's get a nice exit through here. I love accelerating out of this section here. I race this track quite a bit online, and I'm so used to it. Just fantastic track. Can be a bit difficult for beginners, but it's just that concentration you need to try and get good laps. Now again, ease off to get the turn in. Same thing here, just get the nose to come around, and now power out of the corner. It didn't feel quite as clean as I try and hold it on this last corner. I don't think I've beaten my my last time, but it was a very good time. Now, can I beat it? No. Okay, so, but at least it's a personal best on RSR. This is the Shadow V8, so if you feel like having a go, if you've never raced this track online, I highly recommend the MX-5. The MX-5 on this track is fantastic. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed that. So this is Michael signing out for SingleRacer. I'll catch you next time. See you later.